Happy New Year, everyone. This is James with Enrique
Hello.
from True Believers. And if you're listening, you might notice this is actually the first issue of Volume 2 of our show. Volume 2 because this is the second year, and we're also making some changes.
Very good changes, though.
Very, very exciting stuff.
If you notice, there's a theme song now done by Torn Rod of Spirit of the Stairs, who's a local band here in Wichita.
I've seen them before. They're really good.
Very good live, yes. Awesome stuff.
So when did you contact him about this song?
This is actually, he made this for me a long time ago for another project that just never came together. And I've been sitting on it, and I'm like, I'm stupid for sitting on this. I should be sharing it with the world, and now I am.
You should. No, it's really good, and I'm really glad we have it. We're not really sure what our other changes are yet. We will have some more. But yes, this is issue 1, episode 2. And
issue 1, volume 2.
Sorry.
God.
And like the Marvel method, if that becomes confusing, we'll drop it after.
We'll make it confusing.
Because that's what they always do. They always start like, this is volume 2 now.
Right.
And then after a couple of years, you're like,
Man. Also, we might be experiencing some technical difficulties. We haven't used the equipment for a while, and I think hopefully it's just my earphones. So if it sounds a little...
And Schaefer and anyone else who listens to this show, all three of you guys, sorry.
Hang with us, please. I'm gonna cry if you don't hang with us, and I know you will.
All right.
Cool.
Sounds really good. So let's kind of talk about 2013. This is a year in review.
Yes.
Another shitty year. But so we had a lot of action movies this year.
Right.
And believe me, I'm not going to speak for you. I am in no way a film buff by any means. Like, I do watch movies.
Right.
But there are way smarter people who watch smarter movies than I do. So. But I do like action movies, and I do like these superhero movies, and we've had a lot this year.
Yes.
So
yes.
We're kind of going to do a breakdown of all the stuff we've seen.
Yeah. Let's start with what was the last one we saw was Thor.
Let's start with the first one.
The first one. Okay, you start with the first one.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
Looking back, we had a lot of build-up. If you've been following our show, we had a lot of build-up to that show. We were excited for it. I think we had to change our pants all the time just because we were so excited about it.
Huge.
And I think it was a really good movie. It was a little bit of a shocker. It needed a second viewing because, it was not the movie that they had advertised at all.
No, not at all.
And there was a big plot twist involving the Mandarin.
Mm-hmm.
He's not Ben Kingsley. But I think that works. I mean, we finally got a movie that was... I think that's the first superhero movie that really surprised me. I mean, Dark Knight surprised me in a way, more because, I wasn't sure what the movie was going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
But, this was the one that really shocked me. Now, Dark Knight, of course, is a better movie, but... So what do you think? What do you think of it?
I think it was good. Like you said, after you get over the first initial shock and being upset and pissed off by Ben Kingsley not being the Mandarin, it works.
Yeah.
It's after watching it a few times, you're like, I'm getting mad over stupid stuff.
Yeah, you really are. Because it's like this. The Mandarin was never a good villain to begin with.
Right.
I mean, it's not like they're changing the Joker. The Mandarin is probably the best Iron Man villain, aside from maybe Obadiah, whatever his name is, Obadiah Stane, excuse me, and Doctor Doom. He has to, his villains are so lame, he has to borrow villains from Fantastic Four.
Right.
But I mean, he's probably the strongest, the most widely known villain out of all of them, and he frankly just isn't that good. So,
right. And the movie was good, though. The movie held your attention. There was a lot of action in it.
A lot of action, a lot of comedy, a lot of twists and turns.
Right. And it broke a record. It made a lot of money this year. So good for Iron Man.
Good for Iron Man. Good for the Mandarin, who's actually Guy Pearce. Good for Guy Pearce.
Nice tattoos.
Yeah, they were. I know we said...
you got some. No, I'm just kidding.
I did get my Mandarin tattoos over my sweet pecs. My jacked core.
What else came out this summer?
Then there was Star Trek.
Star Trek, which was I did finally get to see that. What
did you think of it?
Well,
Yeah.
I think it could be summed up if you've seen it. The part where Spock yells Khan, and you're just like, because he doesn't. The Zachary Quinto doesn't pull it off.
Yeah.
It's like, it's laughable.
Yeah.
It's laughable and then the guy's Khan the whole show.
I know
the whole movie.
I know.
There's no surprise.
Weird. Why did they even try to? They shouldn't have even tried to surprise us with
Right,
that.
right.
Because I mean, how many Star Trek villains are there besides Khan? At least in the original, I don't know, not very many.
Right.
And so it's like just admit it. But I do like that guy. I thought it was a pretty good movie, but
well, they left a lot of weird holes in it, like so nobody can die now.
Story,
right? And
it was kind of neat that they recreated Wrath of Khan, but at the same time, it's like, couldn't we have gotten something different?
They could have done a different Khan story. Well, they did do a different Khan story, but it was. Yeah, we know who it was.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of weird plot holes in it. So why couldn't they use the same transporter Khan was using instead of like building spaceships? Why can't they just use a transporter now?
Yeah.
And so no one can die anymore. All they need to use is Khan's blood to bring people back to life, which is basically what they did.
What happened? I forgot.
That's basically what happened to Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
So he died, and let's bring him back to life with his Khan's.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, yeah. When you think about it, it's like. Wait a second.
Here's the deal. I actually think it's a good movie. I think it's about as good as it's almost as good as the first. In some ways, it's better.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is the first one that came out of these new ones. That one was the one because I wasn't a Star Trek fan before, and that one was the one that got me into Star Trek. So I guess I was thinking, okay, this is the one that's going to break the ice for us, get us re-familiarized with the old show, so the second one's going to kind of get more of a feel like the old show did, and it didn't, and I think that's why I was a little disappointed.
Right.
But it's a good movie. If I were to give out of 5 stars, and this is 5 stars, these are 4 action movies. I'm not.
Yeah.
But out of 5 stars, I would give Iron Man 3 a 4. And this one, maybe a 3, maybe a 2.5, maybe a 3. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It'll hold your attention.
Yeah.
What else do we have? We had Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, that was also out this year.
Yeah. I watched that again recently on Blu-ray.
I like he did
using
quotes.
Air quotes.
What the kids are calling Blu-rays.
Quality. But it's a beautiful movie. It really is.
Right.
Like it's stunning to look at. I think it might be out of all these action movies that came out this year, I think it might be the worst. I don't think it's a bad movie though. Right.
I know it upset a lot of people of the level of violence in it.
I didn't dig that. I didn't dig that either.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem though. When Superman Returns came out, there was no action, and it's all the nerds cried, "No action, it's boring. We need more action."
Yeah.
And then so they're like, "Okay." So they gave us what we wanted, and we're like, "Too much."
Dial it back.
Come on, nerds.
Well, I think they're going to use that, and then I think that's going to play a big part in the next Superman movie. All the destruction and chaos that ensued while they were on Earth fighting. And, Scott McMullen, who was a guest on the show, brought it up that he thinks it, and I have to agree with him on this, that it's going to play a big part in the next movie.
Yeah.
All that. Superman is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Which he is.
Yeah, good for Scott.
Good for High five, Scott.
Yeah. High five, Scott.
And I'd watch it again. I liked it.
I like it too.
There's a lot of action.
I'd give that one a 3 also. I really didn't think it was a bad movie. It's a flawed movie. Like I said, destroying Metropolis is a bit much.
Not Smallville though.
Well, even Smallville, like when Superman flies through that grain elevator, it's like, okay, about 10 workers just died. Like, what's your problem, dude?
Well, we went through, what did we do, Star Trek and
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3. Well, not so much Iron Man 3, but Star Trek, the end of that movie, that
London, yeah.
Yeah, it was decimated.
Now, this is like, in last year, you've got, the Avengers, which we talked about, that New York had to, there had to be a war. I mean, that was the sixth movie.
Buildings didn't collapse. I mean, we didn't see buildings collapse, but I imagine a couple of them had to have.
But I mean, that was the six movies in the making. I mean, it's okay at that point.
Yeah.
But like Star Trek, London gets blown up, and Iron Man 3. Thank God, no freaking.
Just his house.
Yeah, just his house. Which I remember, because that was the first movie of the summer, and I remember thinking, wow, that's big, but nothing compared to the rest. Oh, and Dark Knight Rises last year with Gotham.
Yeah,
that's like the thing, and I guess even that, it's like, well, 3 movies in, but it's like there really are a lot of exploding cities these days.
Oh yeah,
but Star Trek and Man of Steel definitely upped the violence.
Oh, big time.
Which
leads us to.
Yeah.
The Wolverine.
Oh, the Wolverine.
Yeah.
No cities were destroyed in the Wolverine.
No.
Wolverine surprised me.
I love that movie. Yeah. I can watch that, and I do sometimes before I go to work and get dressed. I'll pop that in and watch a little bit of it. Just it's awesome. The opening scene's great.
Yeah.
The fighting's pretty cool in it. The whole samurai swords. It was like, and the funeral scene where he's running through. Just taking
Japan.
Dudes out, yeah. I was trying. I thought I was being racist, saying something, and then no, it's not. Like when he was taking out the Yakuza or whatever.
The Yakuza, yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
And the pagodas, yeah. No, that movie was really good. I'd give that one a 4 also.
Oh yeah, I would say that's
really
probably.
I liked it better than
best.
Iron Man 3, honestly.
Yeah, that's probably
I don't know if
my
it's
favorite
a better movie, but I liked it better.
In your eyes, it was a better movie.
One thing I got to go back to Iron Man 3 about that I forgot to mention was that movie also had a lot of, for a superhero movie, a lot of political satire in it, which I thought was kind of neat. That was just kind of a side note going back to that movie. But yeah, Wolverine,
The Wolverine,
sorry.
Get it right.
Yeah, the huge mistake, seriously. But they really did a lot of good with that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got rid of a lot of the stupid crap that plagued X-Men 3 and Wolverine Origins.
One thing I did like about it didn't just overbear us with mutants and villains.
Because that was a big problem they used to have, was they would have these mutants who were big characters in the comics just in the background. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, okay, now we can't use them,
right?
Can we? But then they're like, no, we'll use them anyway. So the continuity for the X-Men movies is really messed up.
Yeah.
And they started making mistakes already with the second one as far as continuity is concerned.
Exactly.
At this point, it's just whatever.
And I liked how in the Wolverine it was the main villainess, or the villainess. What was her name? Viper.
Viper. Yeah.
Viper. She wasn't. I didn't know a lot about her, and I appreciate not having a huge super villain in it. It was kind of like a B or C list super villain.
It is interesting because in the comics she's not a mutant.
Oh.
And it kind of works. She's kind of she's an assassin, and it's really interesting that they used her because she's more of a Captain America villain, mm-hmm. but they used her because she's in that Wolverine storyline where he goes to Japan. She's one of the main villains of that, the assassin trying to kill so-and-so. Mm-hmm. So it works really well that they give her powers. So it's like, if they want to, with Captain America, they could probably use Viper, but without powers, make it a different character. So it works really well.
Yeah, yeah.
And I liked her. I thought she was a good villain.
Yeah, it was great. She's just right. She wasn't overbearing. She didn't chew the scenery the whole time she was up. She was just. It was
a little
nice.
weird when she took her wig off. But
yeah,
but you know, whatever.
Oh no!
We've had so few other than Wolverine, we really didn't have any real mutants in it. So it's like, okay, you can take your snake skin off.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's a turn off.
It's a really good movie.
I liked it. Monsters University. No.
I did see Monsters University.
I did too. I liked it.
I don't know.
It was decent. I liked it. It was.
Yeah. It
It's a
wasn't as good as
heartwarming
the first
tale.
one. World's End.
World's End. That's not
5 stars for me. Like, honestly.
Kula
Well,
Liberace.
maybe 4. But that is probably my favorite movie of the year.
It was very good. Some of the problems I had with it, if I had to, and we'll probably talk about this movie later. Some of the action in it was kind of slow. Like, you could tell it needed to be sped up, and it was very choppy. It wasn't like a fluid fight scene. But, for a movie like that, it's fine. Yeah. And I just hope Ant-Man's not like that.
Oh, really?
So,
I don't know. I thought I didn't really notice that too much with the fight scenes. I did like the big brawl in the bar with Pierce Brosnan.
yeah, that was pretty good.
Simon Pegg keeps trying to drink his wine.
That was good.
It's pretty funny.
That was. But I mean, overall, it was a great movie.
Yeah, I think it was almost as good as Shaun of the Dead. I think it was better than Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz is a very underrated movie, by the way.
Oh yeah,
like, people who don't like it
are stupid.
Know what the problem is. Yeah, it's a really good movie.
They obviously have emotional problems.
Probably.
Idiots.
They probably have. Sad. Mm-hmm. What came after that?
I want to say Thor, because we'll eventually get there. But
I also saw Despicable Me too. Yeah. There was a weird scene where the guy is literally choking a chicken, and it was very suggestive.
See that.
You didn't see that?
Yeah.
Did you not see the movie?
No.
I just saw it because it was at the drive-in with Iron Man 3, but I was like pretty wasted by that point. I might have just imagined it. Yeah, that's just how it goes. I just started realizing the joy of watching movies sober.
It's eye-opening, isn't it?
Well, I always figured you drink for insurance in case the movie sucks. You can still have a good time.
Oh,
sort of like you go to work drunk in case you're having a bad day. You'll still have a good time.
Exactly.
It's insurance.
I had a movie at the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah. I just had it in my mind. What was it? Pacific Rim.
Oh, I didn't see that. You mean Pacific Rim Job?
You saw that one, but you didn't see Pacific. You dork.
No, I did not see that.
Okay, you need to see that.
Is it good?
Yes, very good.
I know you gave it to me I downloaded it, and then my external hard drive busted, so.
But yeah, you need to watch it.
I will.
Very good.
It has
Charlie Hunnam.
And what's his name? Esla Ibris. He's a really hard name to pronounce.
Yeah, and I hope we see more of him. He's a really good actor.
Didn't he play in...
he was in Thor.
Well, there was a good movie that he was in.
Oh, was there?
Was it Mandela that he played in?
Yes. Yeah. That, I think, is coming out this year. If it hasn't come out already.
It's not out yet?
I don't know.
I'll see that eventually. That's movies like that, like Lincoln, which came out last year or the year before. I love movies like that, but usually I wait until they're on DVD just because, I don't need people in the audience to see me crying. I don't know, and I usually spend so much money in the summer just watching big dumb action movies. That, by the time fall and winter come around, I'm like, I don't want to spend money going to the theater at this point.
Speaking of not spending money on movies you kind of don't want to see, did you go see Kick-Ass 2?
No, I forgot that came out this year. How was that?
I didn't see it either.
Oh.
So we'll skip that one.
So speaking of Nick Cage, if he is in that movie,
I think
didn't Ghost Rider 2 come out this year?
No.
Was that last year?
I think that was last year.
Dude, who knows?
That was
never saw that.
I'm pretty sure that was 2012.
Out of all, we were talking about how people complain about movies like Man of Steel, and I remember in the 90s when movies like The Shadow and Barbed Wire were what we were getting for comic book movies. So it's like, dude, don't complain about Superman. about Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider's as close to the 90s as... Well, no, The Spirit was as close to the 90s as we get. Or Catwoman was bad, too.
Yeah.
That one was really bad.
I mean, just to get that level of movie about a superhero out in theaters, and I think we should be thankful. I don't understand. I don't
as long
blame...
as it's not as bad as Catwoman.
Yeah. I don't blame
Fantastic Four, even. Like, it's not even Fantastic Four bad. In fact, I would say, Green Lantern, which I think sucked. It was a bad movie. Still wasn't as bad as the movies from the 90s or some of the early 2000s, like Fantastic Four. It might have been about Fantastic Four. But, I'll never watch Green Lantern again. But Man of Steel, not that bad.
Yeah, you just don't bitch. I can understand people want more out of their movies, but just be thankful.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. And then there were a bunch of movies that came out recently that I haven't been able to watch.
Well, you saw Thor, didn't you?
Oh yeah, Thor. Really good.
Yeah, really I was surprised by how.
That's a 4-star movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
It was a fun movie. I wasn't gonna say it was kind of very Star Wars-ish. I think we talked about that a little bit with all the spaceships and stuff, which was pretty cool.
I don't really have any real complaints. I know the first time I saw it, I thought some of the comedy on Earth was a little forced, and it is. But again, seeing it sober, it's not that bad. After that, I was like, all right, stop drinking.
We need to get 2 reviews from you, a sober and a drunk review.
No kidding.
And there's a lot of other movies, but we're going to keep it to the comic movies. Yeah. Looking ahead, though.
What about The Hobbit? Did you see that?
I've not. I saw the first one. I haven't seen The Desolation of Smaug.
I haven't been able to see it yet. I want to. What else? There's some others.
There's some others.
There's some other
Black Nativity. Did you see that?
No.
Okay.
What is that?
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Is that a real movie?
Yes, it is. Oh, Evil Dead, I think, came out this year.
No, that was it this year?
I think so.
I'm not gonna I downloaded that from you. I'm probably not gonna. I should quit saying that. Really.
I don't.
Yeah, one of the 3 people.
It was cool. I mean, it was. Evil Dead was fine.
Didn't they keep the tree rape scene in that?
Yeah.
That is the one thing that they probably could have not brought.
If you're gonna change anything, that would
be the one.
Out. The one
that's the one thing where it's okay, because here's the deal. Or they could have changed it to this. How come a guy doesn't get raped by a tree? People.
I'm not signing up for that.
People talk about. Well, I mean, people talk about sexism in movies and the rape mentality in horror movies and shit. And it's it's true. Other than Deliverance and Alien, you don't really see men getting raped.
Yeah.
You always see girls getting raped in these movies, and it's what is that all about exactly?
I think you're watching the wrong movies. No,
but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, horror movies.
No, I know. I completely understand.
They have a girl getting raped by a tree. None of the trees rape the guys in Evil Dead. Why not?
The trees aren't into it. It's not their bag,
aren't they? You know what I'm saying?
I know. My favorite part in that movie, because you're watching it, and then at the end, it's raining blood. The lead actress is chainsawing a demon or a witch.
You spoiled it for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, no, you have to see it because it's unbelievable. Yeah. It's like a Slayer video.
So did they make it kind of like Evil Dead 2 also?
No. So it's a whole different movie.
Really?
It's a whole different movie, and
I'll watch it.
You should watch it. If you're into Evil Dead, at least watch it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. It's just and now with my external hard drive gone, hopefully I can get that stuff back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just download it again. It's not that hard,
right.
But it's like there was I look at it and I'm gonna watch it today, but then I'd see something else on that list, and
right.
There's always something. Oh, I also never saw the Wizard of Oz movie.
Yeah, you can skip that. Okay. We could do a whole podcast on how awful that is.
What else?
See it just to see how bad it is.
Besides The Hobbit, though. There's some other things.
The Lone Ranger came out. Everyone hated that.
I didn't see that one.
It was... Watch it.
Man, you've seen all of them.
I know, I'm sick.
How was it? Is it really as bad as everyone says, or is it bad coming from people who like The Lone Ranger?
I think I'm torn against. I don't know a lot about the Lone Ranger, and people said that this isn't my Lone Ranger. I was like, it's a movie. People hated Johnny Depp in it, and because he plays an Indian I guess he's technically
Johnny Depp
not
gets
an
a
Indian.
lot of hate these days, and it's like, look, he's doing what he's good at.
Right.
Like, maybe if you guys hate him so much, then quit seeing these movies that he's in, because that's what he's going to do. He's going to put on a ton of makeup and act weird. And honestly, like, he does it more for the kids than the adults anyway.
Right,
like, I mean, so who cares? Wham.
And there's some good horror movies that came out, The Conjuring and
I didn't think that
Insidious
was
2.
that great.
Was,
Everyone was like, it's this. You told me. It's the scariest movie I've ever seen.
Oh,
then I saw it.
God, it scared me.
Really? I saw it and it was like, okay, the first half is Amityville horror and the second half is The Exorcist. Big whoop. I've seen both of these movies and they were done better the first time.
I still liked it.
I know, I'm sorry.
Don't you ever.
I swear there's something else right now besides The Hobbit. What the hell?
Like, what do you mean?
It's like like American Hustle's out, but I mean, we're trying to stick more with the action stuff. Hunger Games 2. That's what it is.
I still haven't seen it.
I finally saw the first Hunger Games about a month ago. Really good. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, but I don't remember it.
It's pretty good. I like it. So I do want to see the second one. I hear it's better than the first.
Yeah, I think I was burnt out on all the kid movies, like throwing kids in adult situations. I was just...
You don't like watching kids murder each other?
No,
you don't really see a whole lot of that in the Hunger Games, though. Like, that's more, there's a little bit of that, but that's more, have you ever seen Battle Royale?
No, I
like
haven't.
The Japanese version.
Yeah, see, I'd rather watch that.
Yeah, like that is full on, let's watch a bunch of 12-year-olds murder each other, and it's pretty awesome.
See, that's a movie you get drunk and watch.
Schaefer showed me that one.
No, that doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I mean, we just touched a little bit upon what movies were out. We tried to keep it with the, science fiction,
keep it real.
superhero.
We try to know where it's at.
There's a lot of other good movies out there you guys should watch. Don't think we just watch those, which we probably do.
That's all I've been watching. And it's not, I like good movie, I usually just wait till they're on DVD because, I've spent so much money watching dumb movies over and over again.
Exactly.
It's like, all right, I'll just wait till they're on TV or not on TV, but
yeah, out on DVD. And there's a lot of movies next year coming out that we're looking forward to. The top two I can think of.
X-Men?
All three, I'm sorry. X-Men.
That one looks awesome.
Yes. The trailer for that is just
the trailer makes
crazy.
Me cry.
You have emotional problems.
It reminds me of the time I was beat.
My father hit me.
You wore that same '70s jacket that that the senator does in that trailer.
And
that's why it makes me cry.
He had his hair like Wolverine. I'm sorry. Well, that one was it the Amazing Spider-Man?
Jennifer Lawrence. Oh yeah, Amazing Spider-Man, which
looks like it. I saw the trailer for it and
interesting.
Reading
by the way,
some stuff.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you watch the trailer, you can see this guy with who's wearing a trench coat and a hat, who I'm pretty sure is supposed to be Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
Because he always dressed up like that. Before they revealed it was Norman Osborn in the 60s, you would see him walking around like that. And he walks past Dr. Octopus's tentacles and what looks like the Vulture's wings.
Yeah. And the Green Goblin's hover.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it a hoverboard.
Go ahead. It was a hoverboard in the third one. What's interesting, it looks like they're setting up for the Sinister Six in the third one. Mm-hmm. Not sure if I like the idea of Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. Not sure if I'm too thrilled about Mecha Rhino.
Yeah,
I don't care for that.
No.
But I do like but if they can involve Alistair Smythe into building it, I think I can come or Spencer Smythe. Sorry, I can come around. Sorry.
Well, then it seems like they're gonna.
And of course, Jamie Foxx is Electro.
Oh, that looks cool.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
At first I thought the makeup looked weird, but seeing it in action actually looks good. He looks like Emperor Palpatine. Doesn't he?
Yes.
Shooting bolts. And he's but he looks like he's gonna be really good in that.
Oh yeah.
I think it's odd that they're already showing us the Green Goblin though. It's like, how many fucking villains are you guys gonna cram?
I think they're gonna cram a lot because, like I was telling you today, I read that the Shocker's gonna be it. Now that Puma's gonna be in it.
Like
Puma.
Who's like, where's Puma? We need Puma.
Damn it. My son loves Puma.
Like, I mean, and even Shocker is like almost a second tier villain.
Yeah.
Puma is definitely second tier.
Yeah.
Like, you never need to see Puma in a movie.
Well, my theory is, and I kind of hope they do this, is like an opening scene where instead of, like, there's a bank robbery, instead of using just your average everyday schmo, they get supervillains that normally wouldn't hold a whole movie to themselves, but it'd be fun to see Spider-Man take him down in the first few minutes of the movie.
On the Dark Knight, where they
use the Scarecrow. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I think why not? I think that's a fun.
Yeah.
Why not do that?
Yeah.
That's a fun villain to put in there that doesn't really add to the story, but it just
And we will actually. I really want to discuss that trailer on a different show.
No, you
talk
don't.
about that movie.
No, you don't.
Because there are some interesting things. I'm still not sure if it's going to be a good movie or not. But I am kind of interested in seeing it now. Like, it's piqued my interest.
Yeah.
Like, I do want to see it now. So that's X-Men, Spider-Man, and Captain America.
Captain America.
That just looks like a good movie.
Oh yeah, that looks like it's going to be an awesome movie.
And it's got Robert Redford.
Robert Redford's in it.
You know he's going to turn out to be evil all along.
I wonder if he's signed on for a couple of Captain America movies or
He's
something
like
that.
I'm going to be in Captain America.
Yeah.
I'm going to make some money.
He could have been Captain America back in the day.
Could have.
Oh.
Oh my God. That's a lot of text messages.
Is it Schaefer? Is it the Bonner?
It might be. Let me check. Yeah, Schaefer. He sent me a picture of a cat.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We need to talk to him about that. I thought he was done with that.
No. Yeah, I thought that was only supposed to be his 2012 resolution. It's like 14 now, dude.
I'm going to cool it on the cats. Also, isn't Guardians of the Galaxy coming out
does that
next
come out
year?
next year, too?
I'm pretty sure. I guess I can look that up real fast. But
that looks pretty interesting.
I've seen some leaked footage or leaked trailer. I'm pumped for it.
Yeah.
So,
Benicio del Toro is apparently going to play the Collector.
Hello, I'm the Collector. I'm the Collector. And when is Ant-Man? No, that's 2015.
Yeah, that's going to be after. I think that's supposed to be part of Phase 3. So they're waiting until after the Ultron story to do Ant-Man, which is odd, but whatever.
I don't think the Ultron's going to be... Oh, no, never mind.
Ultron's going to be in Avengers 2.
Yeah.
It's called Age of Ultron.
Age.
Ass.
I'm sorry. When does that come out?
Fuck if I know.
Stupid. Release date, August 1st, 2014 for Guardians. I am excited to see that movie.
Yeah. There was something else exciting about it. Oh, what's his name? The guy who played Merle in Walking Dead and Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, is going to be playing a blue guy.
And I will, the name's at
What's
the tip
his
of my...
name?
Michael Roker.
Michael Roker, yeah.
Is going to play Yondu.
Which is really funny. It's like, who the hell is Yondu?
Yeah.
And I guess he's...
If you look up a picture of him, it's pretty...
It's funny,
He's pretty intense. Huge.
But it's like,
Mohawk.
It's one of those things, I don't know, he might be a Cree. Who cares? But have you ever seen Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer?
Oh, yeah.
You
It's
have?
disturbing.
Yeah, I've seen it once, and that was back when I was like into horror movies, and even that one I was like, ugh.
That one got to me, and Maniac. That's like,
Maniac did?
Yeah, I was like,
Maniac
I can't watch this anymore.
Maniac is pretty gross. Like,
Yeah.
that guy.
It reminds me of somebody
Joe Spinelli. He's so disgusting.
It reminds me of somebody I work with. That's why I can't watch
I
it
know
now.
who you're talking about.
Yeah. We can't name drop here.
No,
I mouthed it to you.
The first day I started working here, like 5 or 6 years ago, or working with you, I met him and I was like, oh my God, it's Joe Spinelli. Like, it's so creepy.
Or at least related to him in some weird way.
No, but remember when Tom Savini gets his head blown off?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That was cool. It had its moments, but
Henry really disturbed me though. Like, and I've tried to like, I'm like, hey guys, watch this movie. It's really, and then like people start leaving within 5 minutes, or like one friend passed out drunk, and it's just me by myself. I'm like, I don't want to fucking watch it. I turn it off and put on like Futurama.
Yeah, put in something to kind of like clean your palate.
So that's movies. Are there any other movies?
I think it was a good year for movies, and I'm looking forward to next year.
It's like Schaefer said, they just keep getting better and better.
That's right. He's a wise
We're going to
man.
try to Skype him sometime.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll get some better equipment here.
We play a lot of Resident Evil together.
we play a lot of Resident Evil together.
Hopefully.
That's nice.
You need to get an PS3.
I'm not going to get a
cheap.
PS3.
Are you going to get a PS4?
I don't know what's going to... I'm just talking.
Dude, get one used. It's cheap.
I'm going to steal one.
And then when we get a PS4...
I'll go to Target and I'll steal one.
You bastard. Thief.
Well, let's get down to the nitty gritty then.
All right. So...
well, we're here. Why everyone's here is...
why are we here?
To read fan mail from what year is this from?
This is Amazing Spider-Man issue 119, 1973.
Oh, okay.
So this one is Spidey versus the Hulk, also known as The Gentleman's Name is Hulk. This one is actually really important to me. This is one of my favorite issues. Reason why is because...
He's starting to tear up.
I am. Now, when I was a kid, my grandmother did like antique shows and shit, and she picked up this comic for me, and I was like older. I was probably like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And I was kind of growing out of comics by that point, but at the same time, most of the comics I read were 90s, so I was like, oh cool, I'll read an old one, and I was just kind of blown away by how different it was back then. And it's really a good story. Spider-Man, there's a lot going on here. First off, this is the first, we've done a couple Spider-Mans before. All the ones we've done so far have been from Steve Ditko when he was drawing. I think he drew them up till issue 36. And then...
who's on this one?
This is John Romita.
Okay.
Senior.
Yeah.
There's a John Romita Jr. There's a difference.
You're very passionate about it.
Well, I got in an argument with some idiot once. He asked me who my favorite artist was. He pushed his glasses over his nose, like super nerd. And I was like, oh, well, probably John Romita, maybe Neil Adams. He goes, yeah, pushing the glasses over his nose. Yeah, John Romita's cool. I like the stuff he did in Civil War. And I was like, dude, that's John Romita Jr. That's his son. He's good too, but I mean, come on. Come on.
You just got called out on True Believers podcast. Snaps.
This one is, so he did this, most of them from, and I want to say issue 36 was the last one that Steve Ditko did. It might have been 33. I don't remember. It was somewhere in the 30s. But he took over, and he did them clear up until about this point, with a few exceptions, like, occasionally they'd bring in a different artist. I think usually if he was on vacation or something.
Yeah.
But, and there's a big difference between them. Like when Steve Ditko did them, they were really quirky, kind of out there stories, just really different. And then when the stuff that he does, these stories are very dramatic. There's a lot of more soap opera. So you can obviously tell that Stan Lee kind of steals more credit than he deserves, because like the stories between the Ditko years and the Romita years are so different. Like it's a different comic altogether. There was a point when I thought that I liked the Romita years better. That was college, but afterwards I started getting more into the Ditko years.
Yeah.
Like I like them both. The Ditko years are like nothing else, but these are just really good stories. So anyway, it starts off, he's Spider-Man is going to see his Aunt May, who's living with Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
Like, they're like getting married, or it's fucking weird. She's living with Doc Ock, so Peter Parker has to he's just worried about all of Doc Ock's gangsters that are like watching her, and Aunt May is just totally oblivious to all the crime and tentacles apparently that Dr. Octopus has.
What was that? It's nothing.
So he's upset about that, and then he gets a telegraph. Somebody needs to see him in Canada or something, I don't know. But then he's walking outside and he runs into Harry and Norman Osborn.
Oh, gross.
And Harry is on drugs again, and Norman Osborn throws a hissy fit, and he tells Peter Parker to unhand Harry. Unhand him this instant.
Mad
he's
brute.
Freaking out, and then you get this little Peter being afraid of Norman might be getting his memory back of when he was the Green Goblin. Because I guess he has sort of selective amnesia and forgets that he's the Green Goblin from time to time. It's pretty stupid. But,
That's what drugs do.
That was also, I remember seeing this, and I was like, wow, the Green Goblin looked kind of cool back then.
Yeah.
And he really doesn't.
Creepy.
He's a creepy dude. But so he wants to go to, I don't remember why, and I'm not going to read this right now, but he has to go to Canada for some reason, and then he sees on the news that the Hulk is in Canada. So he convinces Jameson to send him on the way. And right there, if you notice, is Betty Brant and Ned Leeds, two big characters from the Ditko years. They're still background characters at that point. Betty Brant was Peter's first girlfriend.
Oh, that's sweet.
And then she left him for Ned Leeds.
Yeah.
Hussy. So then he goes to, I guess he's in Quebec, because the girl at the hotel he's staying at has a French accent or something. And then he goes to, and then it cuts to Thunderbolt Ross. General Ross is trying to get the Canadian Army to work with him to fight the Hulk. Thunderbolt Ross
Good luck with that.
He's really the Hulk's #1 enemy,
yeah.
I think. Now he's Red Hulk, which is kind of weird, but whatever.
I haven't been keeping up on that.
No.
So I don't know if they're friends.
He's like the Hulk's Green Goblin, or the Joker of the Hulk or something.
Yeah.
The Lex Luthor. He's pretty evil, really.
He's an evil piece of crap.
Because he wants to capture the Hulk, not because he hates the Hulk, but because he wants to recreate
Weaponize him.
Yeah. So then Spider-Man fights the Hulk, and Hulk's gonna smash a dam, and time goes on, and
Smash a
Ross
dam.
is gonna shoot everyone, and blah blah. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it looks good.
It goes on forever. Oh, by the way, I also forgot, this one is either the second or first one. I think it's the first one, issue 119, that is written by Gary Conway, or Jerry Conway, however you pronounce it. He was 21.
Oh, wow.
When he started. He was really
That's
young.
nice.
But Stan Lee kind of quit writing at this point, and he needed a new writer, so he took over for a while. Here, it's a cliffhanger.
Oh, no.
The Hulk smashes Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's drowning. And at the end it says, "Hang tight, hero, for if that plunging concrete slab doesn't end your web-slinging permanently, the sub-zero water around you will.
No.
Normally we're not the betting type, but we lay odds you're not going to miss next issue. Death Trap."
Death Trap.
Sad part is, I never was able to read the second issue until college, when I finally got those books that had all the reprints.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. Hulk and Spider-Man realized they were fighting the same side all along and teamed up and got over their problems, just like every other story where, it's the same story over and over.
Yeah.
It even happened in the Avengers movie. So there's some mail. We got the Spider's Web. We also have Stan Lee's Soapbox.
Oh.
Would you like to read Stan Lee's Soapbox?
Sure. Stan Lee's Soapbox.
Oh, wait, before we do this,
okay.
I forgot to mention, this is issue 119. I didn't realize this as a kid, but issue 121, I'm only 2 issues away from a very important Spider-Man story, which is issue 121, The Death of Gwen Stacy. Where the Green Goblin... See, there was a little bit of foreshadowing there already where we ran into the Green Goblin. He does get his memory back, and he does kidnap Gwen Stacy, and she dies, and
And
it's
she
pretty
dies.
messed up. But what's interesting is in issue 120, the next one, where Spider-Man and Hulk resolve their differences.
Yeah.
At the end, it just says, "Next ish, the Green Goblin." Like it's nothing. Like it's like, oh, okay, I kind of like the Green Goblin. Then you read it, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like there was no build up to it at all. Like it's pretty sweet.
You crazy kids at Marvel. All right, here we go. Stanley's soapbox. It worked, gang. You proved that you really do read the nutty news, notes, and nonsense which we try to cram into these pulsating pages each month. For the past issues, we've been socking it to you with our memorable mentions of the latest Marvel mystery known as Foom.
Oh yeah, this is the 70s version of the MMS.
MMS. We hope some of you would notice, and we figured we might even get a letter or two asking what Foom was all about. But never in our wildest, wackiest flights of fancy could we have anticipated the fantastic flood of mail which you've bombarded us demanding an explanation. So, okay, the time hath come to pierce the veil of secrecy and illuminate the Stygian darkness of most ignoble ignorance. And yet, Foom is too much fun, too zingy and secret to blow the whole bit in this one column. Instead, let's uncover just a part of that. The awesome answer and keep the suspense swinging a while longer. Foom is a name composed of the first letters of 4 special words. 2 of those words are of and Marvel. That's like saying, well, I'm not going to tell you who did it, but his name starts with a J and ends with an Ames. The other 2, see if you can guess what they are by next ish. If you can, consider yourself no prized, and don't breathe a word of it, or we'll drum you out of the corpse. If you can't, don't despair. You won't be deprived of the agonizing answer much longer. So till next time, keep the faith, face front, and don't do anything Foom wouldn't do.
Don't do drugs.
Excelsior, Stan. So
Don't do drugs. You'll end up like Harry Osborn.
you want to end up like Harry Osborn? Jerk.
There's a lot of items for sale also. Oh well. Okay, here we go. Here's first little thing of mail. Let's see if I can. Dear Stan and the rest of the gang, I like the end of Spider-Man issue 115. I don't remember what that one is. And now that you finally ditched Aunt May,
Nice.
she was in this one. She's marrying Dr. Octopus Kid, at least for the time being. I'd like. By the way, how weird is that? Like who was like? I think Aunt May and Dr. Octopus should get married. Like
How much
how
pot?
creepy is that? By the way, like it's pretty messed up.
How much pot do you have to smoke?
On their wedding, they
Oh,
do have
God.
they do have a wedding. I think it does get interrupted, but on their wedding on the issue, it shows Aunt May and Dr. Octopus at the aisle, and Spider-Man like barges in and shoots his webbing at the ordained minister, and it shows the ordained minister's speech bubble, and it says, "And unto thee I the web." Anyway,
That was gross.
really gross. I'd like to help you create some new problems for Petey, like what happened to Kraven, and most likely you Marvelites have something up your sleeves. Okay, now I have a really big question for you that's been bugging me for some time. As you know, Spidey's parents, who appeared a long time ago, I don't know the ish number because I lost the mag, worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. as spies for the Red Skull or something like that. I always hated, like, in just like these new movies, like, I hate whenever they bring in Spider-Man's parents because it's like they're either spies or they're, like, super scientists.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like that, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were killed by the Red Skull.
Good for them.
Yeah.
If you're going to go out big.
The Parkers were supposed to be traitors or something along that line, and Spidey found out otherwise, right? Now, if I remember correctly, when spies die, their relations get a weekly or monthly fund from government. Excuse me. So what happened to Petey's little fund? Well, I got the answer. They gave him a bundle of money he can't touch until he's 21. Now, for the big gripe. Nick Fury lost 2 spies. Isn't he interested in their son? I mean, he couldn't have hated the Parkers, could he? So, why don't you have...
Oh.
Excuse me. It's that time of the year again, apparently. So, why don't you have Nick's conscience bother him and have him take a look at Petey? You could put in your future plans a new way to further mess up Petey's life. I mean, think of it this way. Nick's a spy, and Petey might have a problem hiding his other identity from Nick. Pete might even get mixed up in spy stuff, like it was in his blood. But if you do think of making Pete a spy for an issue or two, remember, he's not James Bond. Oh well, till Aunt May grows a mustache and beard, make mine Marvel. And that's from Cheryl Dubois. She doesn't say where she's from, though.
Good.
Gary Conway writes, Gary Conway says, and they spelled it S-E-Z.
Oh, so hip.
Tell her we aren't planning any Spider-Man annuals in the immediate future. Let her figure it out. And seriously, Gallopin' Gare was really turned on by the previously unseen possibilities you presented. And as soon as the current subplot weavings become solid, Spidey fabric, well, Peter Parker, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., just may be in the winds. Nope.
Let's see what we got up here next. Says, come get over it. Good God. Okay. John and Jerry? Did we just...
I think it's Gary.
Gary.
Who cares?
John and G-E-R-R-Y. Poor Aunt May. Living with Doc Ock. Gracious, how the aged dear lady has changed since we first seen her in Amazing Fantasy number 15. Although we should note that she has not aged unduly. How curious. It is possible that the affections first hinted in in annual number 1, then brought to dim light in number 53 to 54, have grown to a mutual love. Can a true Spider-Man fan even conceive of Aunt May and Dr. Octavius as man and wife, or even live together? I can't speak for a true Spidey fan, but I, a true comics fan and lover of the totally unexpected and unconventional, can. Foresee the implications, the traumas, the twist. Could Doc Ock and Spidey exist in so close proximity without each other becoming aware of the true status of the other? Exactly. Could Spidey even consider raising his arm against his dear aunt's beloved? Could Doc Ock discovering who is hated enemy in... I'm sorry, let me read that again. Could Doc Ock discovering who his hated enemy is in truth raise his arm against his beloved's nephew?
Most definitely, yeah.
Imagine the possibility of Spidey and Doc Ock fighting side by side against crime. Good God! What could this do to the hero-villain situation? Where the morality of comics has gone, I'll never know. Let's hope it stays there with such ploys as these being presented to us. That's from Matthew Hayworth, who writes like a woman. 18, and he's from Levittown, Pennsylvania. Responding, Matt, something tells us you're trying to tell us you're clairvoyant. What do we mean? Just watch us. People, Spidey's on the move again. What does that mean?
I don't know. How much time do we have?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Do you think we have time for one more?
Yeah.
Should we just wrap it up?
You do it quick?
Okay. Dear Stan and friends, I was poring over your latest Spider-Man mag. It suddenly occurred to me that in Peter Parker's part of town, there exists a startling and amazing populational discrepancy. Namely, that none of the regular characters have any brothers or sisters. And besides that, most of them have only one parent. That's just plain weird. I mean, how unreal can you get? Now let me ask you, when this hip crowd isn't getting messed up by supervillains and what have you, what do they do for aggravation? It wouldn't be too much trouble, for instance, to mention that dear little Susie has smeared all of Mary Jane's makeup on the dog, and her poor sister has to go to class, all unlovely. After all, nearly any comic book can use a good murder story now and then. And that's from Delane Lucas from Pennsylvania. Delane, in your own way, you've hit on just one reason why we haven't delved into the families of our myriad of webbed characters. Aren't their lives complicated enough at this point without getting into the various hassles of family relationships? You'll note in past mags that the family trips are quite essential to the characters in the stories. If Spidey's books were like others, it wouldn't be so unique, now wouldn't? Who says this is in the Marvel Age of Comics? There we go.
That was good.
So next week, I guess we're going to try to wrap up. Next week, we're going to do the Avengers. We're going to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Mm-hmm.
So be on the lookout. It'll be Avengers number 26.
And also stay with us this year. We have a lot of topics we've been coming up with, like violence, how dark comics have become, especially with the new 52.
Oh, man, those are super violent.
Oh, yeah. There's a Harley Quinn one that just, like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
So how dark they've become, especially all the movies that are all coming out. We're going to discuss those. Mm-hmm. If you're listening and you have a topic that you want us to discuss, go ahead and send us an email.
Yeah.
Or hit us up on wherever you're listening at.
Facebook.
The YouTubes.
YouTube.
So
send us a telegraph.
A mimeograph.
Well, until next time, we'll see y'all later. Have a good night.